Hello everyone and welcome to 555 Barbershop, your home for comprehensive tutorials on barbering. In this video, I'll be taking you through the steps of a skin drop fade on curly hair. My client has asked me not to cut the top of his hair since he'd like it to grow more. This is a detailed video and I'll be explaining each step as we go along. Stay tuned for the finished product, which I've saved for last, so please make sure to watch this video all the way through until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any new tutorials. Now, without further delay, let's begin. The very first thing to do, and the most important step, is to establish the guideline. In this particular case, I've decided to establish my guideline a little less than an inch above the ear. I personally like to use a trimmer that's right out of the box, which means it's not zero gapped. I don't want to make a line that's too hard. After establishing the guideline, the next step is to remove all the unwanted hair from underneath the guideline. I do this with a trimmer that is zero gapped. This means that the trimmer will bring the hair down as close as possible so that I can go behind it and pick up the stubble with an electric foil shaver. That will be discussed in the next step. Notice that with my trimmer, I go right up to the line and flick out. I try not to make another line with my trimmer. In this video, I'm using two separate trimmers, yet both of them are the 22 Stinger Bi-Caliber. The next step is to remove the stubble that I've created with my trimmer. This is accomplished with the use of an electric foil shaver. As with the trimmer, notice how I go up to the line without actually creating another hard line. The last thing I want to do with the foil shaver is create another hard line. I am using the RPG Bi-Caliber. The next step is to remove the bald line. This is accomplished with a fading clipper. I begin with the blade on my clipper fully extended, and as I continue working my way down, I am closing the blade by pushing the lever forward. Notice how I'm doing it here. It's important to add, even though you see the line disappearing before your eyes, I am not moving my arm downward. The fact that I'm closing the blade is automatically erasing the line for me. All I have to do is hold my arm steady and flick my wrist. When I say flick my wrist, what I am talking about is a scooping action. A movement like this is more suitable due to the flatness and closeness of the blade. The fading clipper I'm using in this video is called the 50 Cal Mag Bi-Caliber. The next step is to remove the bulk from the sides using a 1/2 inch guard fully extended. After my first pass, I go back again with the lever closed. Closing the lever on the clipper will bring the cutting blade closer to the hair. This way, the clipper will cut closer with the same guard than it did when the lever was open. The next step is to attach the guard that is a size down than the last guard that I used, extend my blade, and do this. Then I close it and repeat the same steps. From this point on, I will be working my way down in progression from the higher guards to the lower guards, using this same technique by opening my lever and then closing it. Watch closely as I do this with a smaller guard. Lever open, I make my pass, lever close, I repeat the same step. Again, lever open, I make my pass, I close the lever, and repeat the same step. I attach the next smaller guard, extend my blade, make my pass, and then I close it and repeat the same step. At this point, I have to be careful not to cut the hair that I already cut, so I make an adjustment and I lower my arm just a bit. Being mindful of this is important and will save you from possibly ruining the blend. I attach a smaller guard, extend my blade, and make my pass. Then I close it and repeat the same step. Watch closely. When I finally get down to my smallest guard, I take my time with it. I make sure that I use all the notches on my clipper to make sure that blend is precise. Because it's so close to the client's hair, I have to work in these small increments. This is an important part of the blend, as it is the part that ties together the bottom and the top. The most difficult part you will encounter while performing a drop fade is this part here behind the ear. The irony here is that the most attractive part of a drop fade is located right here where all the hills and valleys of the scalp are. A barber has to go in and fix that and create the illusion that the fade is blended well. Even if a barber does a good job, the light will hit the side of the head in such a manner that the fade will appear crooked or unbalanced. This is why shading will be required after this. This is the reason why most barbers have elected to charge more money for a drop fade, especially when it's down to the skin. The clipper I'm using is the FMJ by Caliber. Shading is a process that can consume a lot of time. If the barber learns how to master this technique, the end result of a drop fade will be spectacular in comparison to anyone else's. Make no mistake, it is the shading that brings out the most in a drop fade. Skip the shading and you won't have anything worth taking a picture of. Shading is important. The trimmer I'm using in this exercise comes with a guard that covers the entire blade. It allows me to do this. What I'm doing here is debulking the client's hairline. This allows me to get rid of unwanted hair or hair that could possibly get in the way of creating a sharp lineup. The Monster 99 and the 38 Super by Caliber both come with this special attachment. I'm using the Monster 99 by Caliber. When I begin my lineup, the very first thing I want to establish is the corners. I try to create a 90-degree corner at the top of the hairline. I set this up on both sides of the client's hair and connect the hairline in the front. C-cups can be accomplished in a variety of ways and styles. I personally prefer my C-cups to be a little sharper than your traditional 90-degree angle for a more aggressive look. Finally, the final step is to go back and clean up my work with a straight razor. I want to make sure that I'm not pressing too hard on the client's skin with the razor. I don't want to cause a cut or any irritation. If your drop fade looks similar to this or better, you have done well. Thanks for watching. To purchase new equipment from Caliber, visit caliberprocorp.com and use discount code 555.